Hi dreamers! So today I'm sitting here with this candle because I just want to talk for a few minutes about making the fire friendly. This is a part of many traditions where you work with, you can do this with a candle, but traditionally this was done with an outdoor fire that you could do in a fire pit or in a like a fireplace, or if you build a fire, if you have a place that's cleared, that you can build a fire outside. But many of us don't have access to that. We live indoors or in apartments or in the city, and working with the spirit of fire is so important and helpful that I want to go into just showing how you do this with a candle. But just do the same thing if you're with a fire. You just might have to work a little hard, add a bigger offering. So the first thing I would do is just open sacred space. And so just open sacred space in whatever way that you like to do. Cast a circle, call in your helping spirits, however you do. And then with the lit fire or candle, I've got a tea light here, you want to begin to communicate with the fire. In some cultures, you might talk to it. You might, like if you work with the goddess Breed or Bridget, you could do that. In the Andean tradition, it's Nina Mama or Mama Nina. Some people call it Grandfather Fire. It doesn't really matter as long as you address the fire as a respected older ancestor. Then you would go ahead and start making offerings. You might put in different types of herbs or alcohol or things like that. But I'm going to use Agua de Florida, and I'm sorry the light's coming in, so it's it's making little dots on my face. But I'm going to show, like, you can just take it like this and just flick it onto the candle. And sometimes I even just sort of tap it. And then you see the fire will start to come up. Now this is obviously because this has alcohol in it. But it's also a process of talking to the fire. And if you do this with a real fire, you can blow it onto the fire. So basically now the fire is beginning to sort of move and have energy. And I'm just going to sit here for a while and just ask it. Gracias, Nina Mama. Gracias, Nina Mama. Gracias. And now the fire, you could add other offerings to it. But you can do this with olive oil or alcohol or Agua de Florida. But the reason for doing this is that you want the fire to get to a point where it's sort of connecting with you energetically, connecting with your heart and your third eye. And that a little bit more. Because what you want is to dialogue with it. And, okay, so now I'm feeling much more, although the flame is a little bit all over the place, a little bit chaotic today, I'm feeling much more connected with it. So now, if I wanted to begin to ask, Gracias, Nina Mama, Gracias, Nina Mama. Please share your energy with me. Gracias, Nina Mama, Gracias, Nina Mama. Gracias, gracias, gracias. Okay, now I feel more connected to it. I can feel it connected to my heart and to my third eye. And now I can listen, or I can look into the flames if I'm scrying, or if I'm doing a fire ceremony where I'm going to offer or burn things. which I would need a different holder, candle holder for that. I would make those offerings of sage or whatever would burn, pieces of paper, whatever would burn, and start to burn those. But I wouldn't start to do that until the fire's been made friendly. So right now the fire is just asking me to sit here and listen for a minute. The important thing about all this is that maintaining a friendly relationship with fire doesn't just help me to release or to divine or to manage my energy field. It also helps me to have a relationship with fire as a being, so that when I want to learn from it or go to it for help, if there's a weather event involving fire, I already have a rapport with it, and I don't have to just jump into a relationship by asking for a big help, a big favor, without having trying to get to know the fire first. So I'm just going to go ahead and close Sacred Space and thank you all for listening. And if you have any questions about this, for some of you this is going to be very basic and routine. You do this all the time. But if you don't, I would just invite you to integrate this into your fire scrying or your fire releasing ceremonies. I think it can be very powerful. Gracias. Gracias, Nina Mama. Gracias, Nina Mama. Gracias, Nina Mama. Blessings.